everyone, and welcome to The Explainer. If you're an engineering student, an automation pro, or honestly just a focused learner fascinated by how modern factories actually tick, you are exactly where you need to be. Today, we're taking a structured, highly focused tour of the automation landscape. We're going to decode the machines that literally run the modern world, looking specifically at the top brands and the programming software that makes it all possible.
Did you know there are dozens of different PLC manufacturers operating globally right now? Okay, let's dive into this, because the reality is every single one of these manufacturers uses its own unique programming software. It can feel pretty overwhelming for beginners, but choosing the right one depends entirely on your specific application, your budget, and the industry you're working in. Getting a handle on these different brands is absolutely a must for any modern automation engineer.
So here's our roadmap for today. First, welcome to factory automation. Second, the top 5 PLC brands. Third, standard PLC programming languages. Fourth, future industrial automation trends. And finally, DEVI automation solutions.
Welcome to factory automation.
Before we get into the specific brands, we gotta define the foundational tech making all this modern industrial magic happen. And that's the PLC, or Programmable Logic Controller. Think of it like a highly ruggedized industrial computer. It's literally the brain of the factory floor. It takes in data from sensors, processes it, and barks out commands. It's the intelligence behind the robotic arms assembling your car or the conveyors sorting your online packages. Without the PLC, well, a factory is basically just a room full of disconnected metal.
Section 2, the top 5 PLC brands.
The source material highlights about 15 major brands out there. But to keep things highly digestible, we're curating our focus strictly to the global Big 5. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how geography and specific software suites define these industry titans: Siemens, Mitsubishi, Delta, Omron, and Allen Bradley. Notice how each brand has its own specific software ecosystem, like TI Portal for Siemens or Sysmac Studio for Omron. Meaning, learning a PLC isn't just about the hardware, it's about mastering the specific software that brand requires. Let's see how they stack up against each other. First up, let's contrast two of the absolute heavyweights: Siemens from Germany and Allen Bradley from the USA. Siemens is a massive force. Using TIA Portal and Step 7, they completely dominate global manufacturing, process industries, and the automotive sector. Honestly, if you're drinking a mass-produced popular beer right now, there's a huge chance a Siemens PLC controlled that brewing process. On the flip side, walk into a sprawling US manufacturing plant, say a massive Ford assembly line, and you're highly likely to see Allen Bradley hardware running Studio 5000. The sheer scale of their real-world applications is just staggering. Moving right along over to the east, let's compare our two Japanese leaders, Mitsubishi Electric and Omron. Both are incredibly reliable, but they have very distinct operational strengths. Mitsubishi, running on GX Works, really shines in fast-paced packaging and robotics. If a robotic arm is blurring past, sorting thousands of candy bars into boxes, it might just be running on Mitsubishi. Omron, on the other hand, using tools like Sysmac Studio, keeps a really tight, specialized focus strictly on precise machine automation. Finally, we've got Delta Electronics out of Taiwan, utilizing ISPSoft and WPLSoft. I really want to emphasize Delta here because they represent a highly practical, widely used, and incredibly capable choice for smaller-scale factory owners. They're notoriously the go-to solution for industries like textiles and packaging, where you absolutely need robust performance, but maybe without the massive overhead of a system designed for a sprawling auto plant. Section 3. Standard PLC programming languages. Let's move to and see how this builds, from the hardware brain into the actual commands we give it. So we've got the hardware figured out. Now, what about the actual vocabulary engineers use to command these machines? Enter the IEC 6113-3. It's an international standard that defines the 5 basic languages used to program PLCs, totally regardless of the brand. We're looking at ladder diagram, function block diagram, structured text, sequential function chart, and the older legacy language, instruction list. Knowing this specific vocabulary is crucial for any automation engineer, giving you a fundamental framework whether you're sitting in front of a Siemens unit or a Delta unit. Now, if you're a beginner, ladder diagram, or LD, is your absolute best friend. It visually resembles electrical relay logic, making it super intuitive. You're essentially just drawing out the circuit of conditions needed for an action to trigger. A fantastic first step: download some simulation software and practice ladder logic before you even touch expensive physical hardware. It is the perfect, low-stakes entry path to kickstart your learning. Section 4. Future Industrial Automation Trends. The basics are great, but this industry moves incredibly fast, and we need to look at exactly where it's heading next. The traditional PLC landscape is being flipped on its head by artificial intelligence and edge computing. We're moving way beyond simple logic following. Today, we're talking about AI-enabled PLCs processing complex data right on the factory floor at the edge, making real-time, predictive decisions that optimize efficiency and drastically cut down downtime. It is incredibly exciting. And all of this leads us straight into what's known as Industry 4.0. We're talking digital twins. This is where a complete virtual replica of a physical factory allows engineers to safely test code in a simulation before pushing it live. Plus, cloud connectivity, industrial IoT, and fully realized smart factories. Guys, this isn't science fiction anymore. This high-tech interconnectivity is the absolute inevitable destination for modern manufacturing across the globe. Section 5. DEVI Automation Solutions. To actually reach that high-tech future, factories and businesses really can't do it alone. You need the right industry partner to bridge the gap between legacy hardware and these emerging technologies. And this brilliantly illustrates where DEVI Automation Solutions comes in. Their whole approach is about seamlessly integrating traditional gears and mechanics with AI, the industrial Internet of Things, and green technologies. They're positioned as your ultimate all-in-one provider for this massive technological leap forward. DEVI provides some seriously comprehensive offerings to future-proof your systems. They handle the core stuff: industrial automation, PLC programming, HMI touchscreens, SCADA monitoring, and VFD motor controls. But they also push hard into tomorrow with AI, IIoT, smart agriculture, home automation, and solar energy solutions. Hey, if you found this explainer helpful, definitely remember to like, share, and subscribe to DEVI Automation Solutions for more great educational content. And if you're ready to modernize your own operations, reach out to them directly for business inquiries at devautomationsolutions@gmail.com. I want to leave you with DEVI's powerful slogan: smart technology, powerful solutions, better tomorrow. The tools to build a smarter, more efficient world are literally already here, from the basic ladder logic of a PLC to the advanced neural networks running a smart factory. The only question left is, will your operations be the ones leading the charge, or will you be left behind? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep learning.